Going on, guys? It's Eric. Want to do a video for you guys. Hopefully it ends up being a good one. We'll see though. You never know, right? So first, I got 10 as of right now. I wrote down 10 lies in trucking. This is all my opinion. Okay, just so you know, it's my opinion. But I've been doing this for quite a while, and I just feel like you hear a lot of this stuff and it's just like whatever. So number one is I just don't want any problems. I get a new truck, I'm not going to have any problems. I know 3 people that have bought brand new trucks. Oh, kind of 4 just personal people that I know. Most of them are friends. And out of the 4, 3 of them have had major issues with their trucks and have been in and out of the shop a lot. So I just think that's a lie. Let's keep that short. I don't think that to be successful that you need to have. All right. Keep it moving, Joe. Keep it moving. To be successful, you just don't need to have a brand new truck. It's gonna break down. It's a truck. So number 2 is it is risky to have your own authority. So the way that I look at it is I feel like it is risky to pull for somebody else, under somebody else's authority, because you don't have the ability, the authority to decide something isn't working. I just almost set the cat on the dog. That wouldn't have been good. But you don't have the ability when you need to make a move or a change to do so, because you have no control over your business. Basically, you just listen to what they tell you to do. So I feel like if something changes in the market, you need to be able to adapt and do something else. And if you don't have your own authority, it's not as easy as just deciding that you're going to do something else. You actually have to ask for permission, or in some cases, it's not going to happen. Like if you work for a car hauler, there's no cars to haul. They're not going to let you haul dry van or flatbed or whatever. You just leased onto this or you're running their authority, and there's nothing you can do. Lie number 3, the more miles I run, the more money I make. This is just the weirdest thing ever, and you hear people talk about miles, and I get it. So from a driver standpoint, I mean, if you're getting paid by the mile, then yeah, the more miles you run. But I would say that just in general, if you want to make the most money possible, it's just an ignorant statement, I guess is what I'm saying. But from a owner operator or business owner standpoint, is really what I can speak on, which is the more miles that I run, the more money I make, is not true. The least amount of miles that I run and the most amount of money that I can charge a customer is going to be the most profitable thing I do, making it the most money that I actually create. So the key word there is profit. I profit more if I charge more and I do less miles. And most of the stuff that I do is better because it's less miles and more pay. So Gosh, I do not like the way this is set up, where it's just showing my face. But I don't know. That's, I guess, what we got to deal with. So that's just number 3. Number 4. This is in no particular order. I was just brainstorming and wrote this stuff down. So this is just a silly one. There's no money in trucking. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but there's so many people that say that there's no money in trucking that it's just so crazy to even think that I have to say this. But as a driver, there are so many opportunities for a company driver to make a lot of money, just tons of money, like more than, I mean, just unbelievable amounts of money, the opportunities out there. From a owner-operator standpoint, you know, you get with the right people, you're going to make lots of money as long as you put in the work and do what's necessary. And not making a lot of money and not knowing how to spend your money and living paycheck to paycheck are two different things. And it doesn't matter how much money you make, you shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck. So that just means you're living beyond your means. And then I guess one step further is a truck. I mean, at this point, we should know this, but as a actual trucking business, you know, there's obviously money in it, or we wouldn't be in business. We wouldn't be doing this. Okay, the myth of $3 per mile, or well, not the myth, but the, what would it be? It'd be like the unicorn, or like the legend of $3 a mile, or, you know, it's just thinking that what trucking is about is making no less than $3 a mile, okay? And if you don't make that, then it's not worth it. That's like, what would that be like? That is like, I don't know what it's like, but basically, if you have that high expectation, then you're just going to think that there's no way that you can make money because the rates aren't $3 a mile, so there's no way you can make money. You don't need that. When people say that that's what they're making, they probably have made that, but that doesn't mean that's their standard, okay? They brag about all the stuff, the good stuff that's happened to them in their life, but that doesn't make it the standard. That just might be an exception, even though when they tell you how much money they make, they say, oh, well, $3 a mile is my minimum, or, you know, I made $3 a mile last week. Well, what did you make the whole last month or 2 months prior? You know, that's kind of my thought on it. Oh, wow. No money in trucking. I already said that. No money in trucking. Debt. Okay, let's talk about debt. There's so many lies around this, but so one is you can't run a trucking company without debt, which is false. And then another thing is that I think that's where I wanted to go with that. You can run a successful trucking company without debt. I believe there's some fairly huge companies that don't carry any major debt. There's definitely small fleets that don't. I'm not here to give you an opinion on if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I have debt on mine, but very little, especially for a trucking company. So that's what I want to basically talk about there. It's hard to go direct. The only way is with a broker. That would be line number 8. And in my experience, brokers require more stupid information than just signing up direct with a direct client. This whole thing about brokers requiring, you know, for somebody to have their authority for so many years, and just all the I have such a huge problem with brokers in dealing with them, because I feel like it's such a joke when you're dealing with them, because I mean, I get, it's just weird. But so basically, when you go and sign up with a direct client, they're not going to ask you how many years or how long has your authority been up and running. They're just not going to ask. They're not even going to ask you pretty much anything about your authority. One time, I had somebody tell me they really wanted to use me and this and that. This was a direct client. And then they told me that they weren't going to go with me because they looked up my authority and I only had like one truck, and they needed someone that had more flexibility with their trucking. Now, yeah, that sucked and everything, and this was quite a while ago. But the thing is that it's happened one time, and no one normally even looks up your authority. No direct shipping clients, they just don't. So brokers have all these ways that they try to figure out if you're worth doing business with or not, and it's just different. It's just totally different, and not, I don't know, it's just interesting. It's kind of funny to me. Number 9, the more trucks that you have, the more money that you will have. And that is a lie. The more trucks you have will mean the more expenses you have and the more problems you have. And it could, if you are a good business person, give you more money. But it doesn't matter how many trucks you have if they're all sitting, or if, your expenses are more than your profits. And number 10, I'm going to put 10 and 9 together. Trailers aren't worth it. They're expensive. I don't know. I don't hear about this much online, but in my market where I work at, and the people that I work with, they do like dirt works. They do like belly dumps and side dumps, and it's just like this huge thing that they always talk about. Whether it's just not worth it, and I'd just rather just keep up on my truck and not have to worry about the trailer. And when you don't have this is kind of like one of the main, yes. When you don't have a trailer, you don't have any, it's almost as bad as not having your own authority. You don't have a right to do anything else. You have no power. You have to do what someone's telling you to do, or do nothing. And somebody is basically taking money out of your pocket because of this trailer. So let's just say they took, for easy number's sake, 10%. That's what I charge if somebody uses my trailers, 10%. And that truck does $100,000 a year. So you charge 10%, so that means that it's $10,000 that just automatically comes off the top of their profit, right? So that $10,000 might be their fuel bill for the year. So the trailer could pay for their fuel. The trailer could pay for a good portion of driver wages. The trailer could pay for their tires. The trailer could pay. There's no expenses with the trailer. You got tires every other year, brakes, it's just, I don't know. Until you have a trailer, you don't, this isn't very opinionated, but until you have a trailer, you don't really have a business. That's just what I think. I feel like if you're gonna own a fleet and you want to run a fleet, you don't even need to bother buying 2 trucks till you have 1 truck and 1 trailer. because the best way to run a business is to give yourself the best opportunity for success. And the best way to succeed is to run a profitable business. Give yourself the opportunity to run the most profitable business you can. And by doing that, it will help you succeed and weather any storms. So those are the 10 I just kind of thought of. I mean, I'm sitting here, my wife, many years ago, thought she wanted to be a doula as a way of creating income for just kind of a side business or think something she was interested in. And I think she did it once, tried to charge somebody once, and then just found out that it wasn't worth it because she doesn't do well on call, and it's kind of a pain in the butt when I need to be able to do whatever I need to do, and I can't be worried about, her being on call. I need her to be the anchor for family and house, and I need to be able to go do what I need to be able to do. So, but one of her good friends has had a baby, so usually at 9:30 at night I'm hanging out with her, but she's doing that, so I'm making a video. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Have a good one.